everybody, and welcome to my live stream for the decider, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Pacers and Thunder. Somebody's going to be hoisting the NBA championship here in 48 basketball minutes from now. Again, my name is John. Thank you for joining us. You can follow me on YouTube, Sports Bonanza John. I'm also on Twitch, Sport Guru John. These are my two. Appreciate a like and subscribe if you like the content right now. Pacers and Thunder. Thunder looking for their first championship in Oklahoma City, second championship for the franchise. They won one back in the late 70s when they were still the Seattle Supersonics franchise. Pacers looking for their first NBA title, won several ABA titles back in the days with Bobby Slick Leonard as the coach, and they would be the first franchise to win a title both in the ABA and the NBA for the Pacers and for the Pacers. All right, the scene shifts back to Oklahoma City, and it has been, quite the series so far, and the first time in 9 seasons, the NBA Finals is going to 7 games. We will recap the first 6 games, but as I do on all my live streams, we're going to start at the beginning before we get into anything. I'm going to start out with a prayer here before we begin. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for looking over us, Lord, and look over these 2 teams, Lord. Please keep everybody safe. And Lord, whoever wins tonight, make sure the celebrations are all safe tonight. Don't need anything getting out of hand. So please just make sure everybody's safe on the celebrations, no matter who it is, Lord, and just look over us all. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, let's recap how we've gotten to where we are through the first 6 games. In game 1, it was, of course, Tyrese Halliburton's heroics with his last-second shot that won Game 1 for the Pacers. And then Game 2, the Thunder bounced back emphatically with a wire-to-wire win in Game 2. So that tied the series at 1. The series shifted to Indianapolis, and in Game 3, it was a game pretty much the Thunder had in control for the first 3 quarters, but a furious fourth-quarter rally by the Pacers won them Game 3 and gave them the series lead 2-1. Game 4, the roles were pretty much reversed. The Pacers dominated the first 3 quarters. It looked like they were well on their way to a 3-1 series lead, but back came the Thunder, of course, led by the NBA MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He had a 15-point fourth quarter to pretty much single-handedly lead the Thunder back in that Game 4 comeback. And that made the series 2-2 as the scene shifted back to Oklahoma City for Game 5. And at Game 5, the Thunder pretty much were in cruise control in as well. T.J. McConnell pretty much single-handedly tried to bring the Pacers back in that third quarter. Wasn't quite enough as the Thunder responded in the fourth to pull away in that fourth quarter and take the series lead. That's the first time in this series they had the series lead 3-2. Series shifted back to Indianapolis 2 days ago, and after a 3-point game after the first quarter, it was all Indiana after that point as they led by 30 points after the third quarter in that game en route to a 17-point win in Game 6. Which brings us to the decisive Game 7 here in Oklahoma City, Pacers and Thunder. And boy, what a scene it is there in Oklahoma City. NBA Countdown, if you watch that, of course, as pretty much has been the whole series, a clean sweep for the Thunder. Stephen A. Smith, the only one that's even picked the Pacers in a game in that series. So everybody going with the Thunder in this one. So we will see what happens as they are just about set for tip-off in the 7th and deciding game. The bench in this series has been a big factor. The Pacers bench really has outplayed the Thunder bench the entire series. Tyrese Halliburton had that bad Game 5, bounced back with a respectable Game 6. But again, it's been the bench that's been the story here, and we'll see if that continues. On TV broadcast, they just showed Miles Turner. He is the longest tenured Pacer, but will this be the last game for him in an Indiana Pacers uniform? We'll find out. So it will be. Here we go. As the teams take the floor, it is a blowout once again in Oklahoma City, as it pretty much has been all playoffs long. Boy, it is a raucous crowd. Of course, the Thunder, being the only professional franchise in the state of Oklahoma, of course, are going to have the whole state behind them. And as we are just about set to tip things off. Normal starting five for Indiana, as it's been pretty much all playoffs long. You got Halliburton, Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam, and Turner on the floor for Indiana. Thunder have shaken things up with the starting lineup a couple times in this series. And here we go. Game 7 set to tip off. Underway, and the tip is controlled by Indiana. This is Halliburton with it. Siakam finds Nembhard. Nembhard looking. Nembhard driving inside. Nembhard with the pull-up jumper, and that's the first 2 points of the night in Game 7 as Andrew Nembhard with the pull-up jumper. Thunder come up for their first possession. Jalen Williams' shot was altered and rejected, and back come the Pacers. Nembhard outside. Here's Turner. Turner looking and finding Halliburton for 3, but we're going to have a foul. And it's going to be on Dort for the Thunder. Long range 3 is long. Rebound to the Thunder, Holmgren. Dort with it here for the Thunder. Hartenstein to Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander looking to wrap up his MVP season with an NBA championship. Pulls up in the paint and has his first 2 points, and the game is tied at 2. Just over a minute in. Nembhard bringing it up for the Pacers. Outside to Siakam. He takes a 3 and hits it from the outside. Siakam with the long-range 3, and it's 5-2 Indiana. Dort once again. I'm sorry, that's Williams bringing it up for the Thunder. Williams gives it off to Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander gets inside, but is cut off by Nembhard, and Gilgeous-Alexander has it knocked away. 2 to shoot for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander has to launch and missed it. A good defensive possession for Indiana that time, and we've got a foul on the Thunder on the rebound attempt. Nembhard has really done a fantastic job on Gilgeous-Alexander, all things considered, defensively, as he has been on him for most of this series for Indiana. Up the floor come the Pacers. Here's Nembhard. Off to Turner. Turner finds Halliburton, over to Nembhard again. 2 minutes old in Game 7. Nembhard on the drive against Holmgren. Nembhard blocked by Holmgren. And the Pacers keep it alive. 4 to shoot here. The turnaround jumper's an air ball, rebounded by Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander brings it up the floor for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander on the drive gets fouled. They're saying before the shot, so it'll just be a side out of bounds. They're going to get the foul on Nesmith. Thunder will inbound. It's first team foul on Indiana. Crowd has not sat down yet in Oklahoma City. You're probably not going to see him sit down much at all night long. Here's Williams getting the inbound. Williams off to Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander again against Nembhard. Gilgeous-Alexander the pull-up, and he's got all 4 for the Thunder, and it's a 1-point game. Nembhard with it. Over to Halliburton. Halliburton driving. Halliburton gets inside, but is rejected. And the Thunder come down with the loose ball. Thunder look for their first lead. Gilgeous-Alexander to Hartenstein. Hartenstein's been getting the start for the Thunder since Game 4. It was Case and Wallace in the first 3 games, but they're going with Hartenstein from Game 4 on. Here's Holmgren. Holmgren, the turnaround in the paint, got the roll, and the Thunder have their first lead of the game, 6-5. Halliburton with it. Outside, Halliburton finds Turner. Turner back outside to Siakam, over to Halliburton. 10 to shoot for the Pacers. Turner in the corner. Turner on the drive inside against Holmgren. Turner finds Siakam. Halliburton has to launch a long 3 and got it. Halliburton with the long-range three gives the Pacers an 8-6 lead. Williams with it. Williams gets it back over to Holmgren. Holmgren back to Williams. Williams on the drive, throws it up there, and rebounded by Nembhard. Halliburton with a long three again and hits another long one. Back-to-back long threes by Halliburton, and it's 11-6 Indiana as a few Pacer fans in the stands there in Oklahoma City. 6 early for Halliburton. Williams finds Hartenstein. And inside and goes. And the Thunder answer. 11-8. Siakam against Hartenstein from the foul line. Missed it long. Rebound Holmgren. Thunder bringing up down 3. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Gilgeous-Alexander inside throws it up and missed it, but he's fouled. That's 2 early fouls on Nesmith for the Pacers. And it will send the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to the free throw line. First free throw on the way for Gilgeous-Alexander is good. One more coming. Seeing Mathurin into the game for Indiana, as Nesmith has picked up the 2 early fouls for the Pacers. Gilgeous-Alexander hits them both, and the lead is 1 for Indiana, 11-10. Nearly 5 minutes into this first quarter in Game 7. Miles Turner. Here's Halliburton, who's hit the 2 long threes. That's short on that 3 attempt, but the Pacers keep it alive. Mathurin with the offensive rebound, and another long 3 for Halliburton. That leads to a Thunder timeout. Halliburton has hit 3 long threes early for the Pacers, and they lead this game 14-10 with 6:58 to play in the opening quarter. Boy, is you get Tyrese Halliburton. Well, he wants to go out with a bang this season, and he has so far with 3 3-pointers early on. And the Pacers have a 4-point lead, 14-10, with 6:58 to go here in the first quarter. Pacers, 4 of their 5 field goals here in the first quarter, 3-pointers. As the Pacers are starting off shooting 46%, the Thunder at 57%. But again, 4 for 6 from 3-point range for the Pacers. Thunder have not attempted a 3 as of this point. But the Thunder did get Nesmith in the foul trouble with those 2 early fouls. And the Pacers have a 14-10 lead with 6:58 to go in the opening quarter. Of course, we will crown a champion here in this NBA season tonight with the Pacers and Thunder. It's going to be the second champion crowned on this Sunday, as we had a champion crowned earlier in the College World Series in Omaha, the LSU Tigers, with their 8th national championship in college baseball, as they beat Coastal Carolina earlier 5-3 to win 2 games there, as LSU won their 8th championship in college baseball. The Pacers in this game up 14-10. As mentioned earlier, they're looking to be the first team to win both an NBA and ABA championship. That has never been done. The Spurs have won some NBA championships, but never won a championship in their ABA days. So the Pacers looking to be the first in that, and they're making their second finals appearance, first one in 25 years, lost in 6 that year to the Lakers. The Thunder, making their second finals appearance, of course, looking for their first title in Oklahoma City. They lost back in 2012 in the finals. Also, keep you update on some sports action from earlier today. A couple baseball scores for you. The Phillies and Mets for first place in the NL East in that game. Phillies lead that one 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Scores from earlier: the Yankees defeated the Orioles 7-3. Cubs lose at home at Wrigley to the Mariners 14-6. Reds beat the Cardinals 4-1. Just a couple scores there. White Sox a winner in Toronto 4-2. The Tigers with a win 9-3, kind of cooling off the Rays. The Rays have been one of the best teams in Major League Baseball here over the last month. Give you a few other scores as the night goes on in baseball. But here, you'll have to like this start offensively for the Pacers, especially this quick start by Halliburton. 3 early three-pointers with 9 points. He leads the way for the Pacers. Other scoring for Indiana, 3 out of Siakam with a three-pointer, and Andrew Nembhard with 2. He's got the only 2-point shot for the Pacers so far. 6 early for Gilgeous-Alexander for the Thunder, and 2 apiece from Dort and Holmgren. Very early in this one. As, of course, Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis is hosting a watch party. And that place is probably sold out, it appears. Following the timeout, Thunder bring it up as Caruso checks in for the first time. He brings it up now. Caruso had an off game in Game 6. As did all the Thunder players, really. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander finding Caruso for 3, and he's got it. He's trying to bounce back from that previous game, and he hits an early 3 here for the Thunder to cut it to 1, 14-13. Turner with it. Turner finds Halliburton. Halliburton outside to Nembhard. Nembhard finds Turner. Turner fakes the 3. Now gives it back off to Nembhard in the corner. 3 to shoot for the Pacers. Got to put something up here. And a turnaround 3 is an air ball. And it's rebounded by the Thunder. Good defensive series that time for the Thunder. As they look to retake the lead, Williams lost the dribble. He slipped. And we are going to have a jump ball. Hartenstein was trying to get the timeout called there by the Thunder, but I don't think they had possession, and they're going to jump it. So halfway through the first quarter here, the officials are going to the monitor here. Going to check something. Or just going to the table. Looks like a reset of the shot clock. So Williams and Nembhard will jump at center, and the Thunder win it. But instead, looks like a re-jump. It is going to be a re-jump. And the Thunder win it again. Thunder bring it up with 7 to shoot. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander gives it off to Caruso for 3. That's back-to-back threes for Alex Caruso, and the Thunder take a 2-point lead, 16-14. Halliburton to Turner. Turner finds Nembhard. Nembhard forced it up there and got fouled. I think they're going to get... Not sure who they got on that foul. I believe Jalen Williams maybe. But Alex Caruso off the bench. 2 quick threes here for the Thunder. And it will send Nembhard to the line for 2 here for the Pacers. First is good. Of course, after this Game 7, we're going to go right into the NBA draft. The first round is Wednesday night of the NBA draft. Figure Cooper Flagg from Duke is going to be the number 1 pick as Nembhard hits 2 to tie the game at 16 with 5.5 to go in the quarter. Up the floor is Gilgeous-Alexander. He has it now. Gilgeous-Alexander finds Caruso. Caruso goes inside with the left hand, but hit it too strong off the backboard, and back comes Indiana. Halliburton. Cut off by Gilgeous-Alexander. Halliburton. Can't get free, gives it to Nembhard. Nembhard drives inside. Nembhard outside, and again finding Halliburton with 5 to shoot. Halliburton slips and turns it over. Thunder, Gilgeous-Alexander finds Williams for a dunk underneath. And Halliburton is down at the other end for Indiana, and he is hurting. This is not good. Halliburton in some serious pain on the other end of the floor, and you do not want to see this. It's like his foot just gave out from under him, and he knew immediately that he was seriously hurt. This is not a good sign for Indiana. Of course, Halliburton fighting that calf injury, which limited him to just 4 points in Game 5, and this does not look good. Halliburton still down on the court, his teammates all around him. Oh boy. Not what you want to see if you're a Pacers fan. (18-16) the score. As we have a break in the action here. Find out the status on Halliburton here. Let's update some numbers here. The Pacers are shooting 42% and 57% from 3. Thunder early 64% shooting, and they've hit both their 3-pointers. But the big story right now, the injury status of Pacers star Tyrese Halliburton. As he went down on that turnover, and he immediately knew that there was something seriously wrong. Well, you hate to see something like that in such a hard-fought series like this, no matter who it is or who you're a fan of. That is not what you want to see at all. Breaking the action here at the 4:55 mark of the first quarter. An 18-16 lead for Oklahoma City. Updating some of those baseball scores. Phillies now lead 5-0 over the Mets. After 4, again, that's a battle for first place in the National League East. Yankees defeated the Orioles today 4-2. Tigers a 9-3 win over the Rays, as I mentioned earlier. Pirates 8-3 over the Rangers. White Sox beat the Blue Jays 4-2. Marlins win over the Braves. Brewers hang on to beat the Twins 9-8. Reds beat the Cardinals in St. Louis 4-1. Cubs lose at home at Wrigley to the Mariners 14-6. Rockies over the Diamondbacks 4-2. Giants over the Red Sox 9-5. Cleveland, another shutout. They shut out the A's 3-0. Astros 8-7 over the Angels. Padres a 3-2 win over the Royals, and the Dodgers 13-7 over the Nationals. List of scores around Major League Baseball today. And also, as mentioned earlier, the LSU Tigers won the College World Series earlier today, defeating Coastal Carolina. And they won that series 2-0. Halliburton they did get him off the floor, and we are back to action now as McConnell's into the game for Indiana. Siakam now to Mathurin. Ben Shepherd into the game as well for Indiana, along with Obi Toppin. Mathurin with it now. Here's McConnell. With 1 to shoot, McConnell has to turn around, and it's going to be a shot clock violation as it missed everything, and it's going to go back to the Thunder. And Tyrese Halliburton needing help to get back to the locker room, as he could put no weight whatsoever on that right foot. Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. Here's Caruso for 3. They missed that time. Rebound Mathurin. Back come the Pacers as we near 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Mathurin. Outside to Siakam. Siakam drives. Siakam with the right hand. Count it. And Caruso fouled him, and Siakam has a chance for a 3-point play. So good move inside there by Siakam to try to put the Pacers in front with the free throw. Siakam averaging nearly 20 points a game in these finals. And a chance to put the Pacers back in front. And the free throw is up, and he missed it. Thunder with the rebound. Tie game at 18. Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander turns, and an air ball by Gilgeous-Alexander, and back come the Pacers. Mathurin. Mathurin on the drive. Mathurin with the right hand. No. Rebound Caruso. Kenrich Williams into the game for the Thunder. Here's Caruso. Another open 3. That rimmed off. Thunder keep it alive. Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder get an extra possession. Gilgeous-Alexander outside. Gilgeous-Alexander driving in the paint. Puts it up and in. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander puts the Thunder in front by 2, 20-18. That's 8 for Gilgeous-Alexander in the quarter. Shot at the other end, no good, off the glass by Toppin. And back come the Thunder the other way. It's Gilgeous-Alexander with it, guarded by McConnell now. Gilgeous-Alexander turns, gives it off. Inside, the runner is good inside. And it's 22-18 as Holmgren gets that basket for the Thunder. Siakam with it. Over to McConnell. Shepherd, back to McConnell. McConnell finds Siakam. Siakam pulls up just right of the foul line and gets it down. Pascal Siakam with a 2-pointer, and it's 22-20. Thunder in front. Caruso for the Thunder finds Holmgren. Holmgren back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander this time guarded by Mathurin. Gilgeous-Alexander on the drive. Gilgeous-Alexander with 2 to shoot. Has to force it up. Comes up short. Rebound Indiana. Shepherd to McConnell. McConnell with it now. McConnell cut off. 10 to shoot and a bad pass. Caruso picks it off for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander looking, finds Williams, back to Gilgeous-Alexander with 10 to shoot. Williams in the paint, steps back, finds Cason Wallace, who just checked in. Wallace will have to put this up. Off the backboard, no. And it's going to go back to Indiana. Low scoring first quarter in this game 7. As it is 22-20 Thunder as we near 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Minute 10 right now to be exact. McConnell pulls up and missed it off the front rim. Rebound to the Thunder. Wallace Here's Kendrick Williams for 3. No. And that's going to go out of bounds to the Pacers. Thunder have fallen under 50% from the floor after being in the mid-60s earlier in the quarter. 45 seconds left, first quarter, as McConnell has it, dribbling at center court. McConnell now driving inside, finding Mathurin. Mathurin off the glass, no, gets it back and puts it back. Mathurin put up his own miss and ties this game at 22. This is Williams. Williams with the left hand. Jalen Williams puts the Thunder back in front, 24-22. Shot clock is off. The Pacers can run for the final shot of the quarter. And McConnell dribbling at center court. 10 on the clock. McConnell. McConnell lost it. Holmgren, no good, and that's going to be a blocking foul on Indiana with 1.3 seconds to go in the quarter. McConnell, a little bit too much dribbling out there at center court, and it cost him. Holmgren's heading to the line here for 2. Holmgren's first is no good. One more coming for Holmgren, trying to stretch the lead to 3. Holmgren hits the second. 25-22, Thunder up 3. 1.3 on the clock. McConnell inbounds it, and Siakam will launch, and short off the rim as the first quarter expires. Thunder lead by 3 for this series standards, what's been a very low-scoring first quarter. Thunder 25, Pacers 22 after 1 in Game 7. We'll give you some updated stats here in the quarter. I do want to mention, I've been mentioning, if you've been following me on a live stream, I've mentioned it every time, but I do want to mention if there's any new viewers viewing my live stream tonight, I do want to say I do have a delay between the live action and the action I am reporting. I know that my YouTube TV, who I have, does have that delay. If the past is any indication, if I try to take the delay off, it starts buffering real bad. So I can't really take the delay off. So I do know, I just want to mention for any new viewers, I do know there is a delay there. Unfortunately, there's not really anything I can do about that. So I just want to mention if there are any new viewers joining me on the live stream tonight, I did want to point that out. Hey, as we look at the stats here after 1, the Pacers in that first quarter, 8 out of 21 shooting for 38%. They were 4 for 8 from 3, 50%, 4 2s and 4 3s in that first quarter. Thunder shot right at 50%, 10 out of 20. They were 2 for 5 from 3-point range. Rebounds pretty even after that quarter. And looking at the scoring, Tyrese Halliburton led the Pacers with 9 in that first quarter, but it's looking very unlikely he's going to be returning here. Siakam with 7 points and 4 out of Andrew Nembhard and 2 off the bench from Mathurin. So just 4 Pacers in the scoring column in that first quarter. Thunder led by the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's 8 points, 6 points off the bench by Caruso with 2 3-pointers, 5 out of Holmgren, 4 out of Jalen Williams, and 2 out of Dort. As the Thunder played 9 players in that first quarter, Pacers played 10 players. Both teams really do a good job of utilizing their bench, limiting the minutes and balancing the minutes around. Thunder didn't get much out of the bench in that game 3, only having 3 bench points through 3 quarters. And, of course, with the bench seeing action in the fourth quarter, picked up significant bench points there in the fourth quarter in that one. But for the most part, both teams do utilize their bench very, very, very well. And after 12 minutes in this one, the Thunder lead it 25-22. As we are now 3 quarters away from seeing who will hoist the NBA championship trophy. In this one, as I mentioned earlier, before the NBA season on the court ends tonight, but of course we've got the NBA draft, as I meant, coming up Wednesday night. It's a 2-night event this time, Wednesday and Thursday night. Of course, Cooper Flagg is, of course, for Duke, expected to go number 1. Dallas has the number 1 pick after winning the NBA draft lottery. Dallas, NBA and WNBA teams both got the number 1 pick in their respective drafts this year. We are underway in the second quarter as the Thunder bring it up. Here's Caruso at center court. Alley-oop underneath, but can't finish. And the Pacers come back the other way. Here's McConnell. Mathurin, an open 3 is good. Benedict Mathurin with a 3. He's got 5 points, and this game is tied at 25. Williams. Hartenstein. Hartenstein the reverse, and he gets fouled by Tony Bradley, who just checked into the game for Indiana at the quarter break. Hartenstein at the line. First is no good. Hartenstein misses 2 at the line, and the Pacers rebound, a chance to retake the lead. Tied at 25, 45 seconds into quarter number 2. Mathurin with it. Mathurin to McConnell. Siakam is fouled as he's driving inside, and they're going to get the foul on Cason Wallace. That'll be his first. Siakam heads to the line for Indiana. First free throw on the way is good, and the Pacers back in front, 26-25. Siakam with 1 more. Second free throw by Siakam is short. Rebound to the Thunder. Pacers by 1, a minute old, second quarter. Caruso with it for the Thunder. Off to Hartenstein. Williams with it, and Williams back to that. And Williams tries a 3-pointer. That's short. Kept alive by the Thunder. Here's Caruso. Hartenstein, nice feed inside to Caruso. Nice pass inside from Hartenstein to Caruso, and finishes with a dunk. And it's 27-26. Mathurin. Nice look underneath, and a foul. Bradley cannot finish, but he will have a chance to earn 2 at the line as the foul's on Jalen Williams. That's number 2 on Williams. So he has 2 for the Thunder. Nesmith has 2 for the Pacers. Tony Bradley at the line. He's been getting some significant minutes in this series as Bradley hits the first. One more coming for Bradley. Bradley in his 7th year out of North Carolina. And Bradley hits both, and the Pacers back in front in a back-and-forth first half, 28-27. Caruso. This is Wiggins. Wiggins tried the alley-oop, but Hartenstein is fouled, and they're going to get Tony Bradley on that foul. And Hartenstein, who just missed 2 free throws a couple minutes ago, is heading back to the line. Nope, they're just calling it but they called it before the shot foul, so no free throws for Hartenstein. Williams drives inside. He can't hit. Back outside, Caruso. That's an air ball. Rebounded by the Pacers, and we have a foul. If that's Williams, it's 3. Actually, they got an Indiana foul there. That was thrown on Tony Bradley, so he's got 2 fouls. He joins Nesmith with 2. Williams with it for the Thunder bounce. Inside, Hartenstein lays it in with the left hand. And the Thunder are back in front, 29-28. Siakam to Mathurin. Guarded by Caruso. Mathurin. Back to Siakam. And the Pacers turn it over. Caruso. And the Thunder give it right back. Back come the Pacers. McConnell. This is Shepard. Shepard finds Siakam. Siakam with 5 to shoot. Siakam turnaround. Jumper is short. Rebound Hartenstein. Caruso brings it up for the Thunder as we hit 9 minutes to go, second quarter. Pacers have now dropped under 40% shooting from the floor. Williams drives. Williams right hand, no. And we're going to have a foul. That's like they might have got Ben Shepard on that foul. And we have a timeout with 8:52 to go in the second quarter. Thunder 29, Pacers 28. Jalen Williams missed that first free throw, by the way, so he has 1 more. So the Thunder now are just 4 for 8 from the free throw line. Left some points out there. Williams 1 of 2. (30-28) Thunder. Nembhard with it off Toppin. Toppin back to Nembhard. Again, the shot clock down to 5. Nembhard goes inside, and Turner, no good, and he gets fouled. Turner at the line for the Pacers for 2. First free throw up and short. So both teams leaving points out there at the free throw line. Miles Turner has 1 more coming. And he gets 1 of 2. Thunder lead at 30-29. 8:25 and counting to play second quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander on the drive. Gilgeous-Alexander spins and gets fouled by, I believe they're going to get Nesmith. And if it is, it's, nope, they're going to get, it is on Nesmith, or Nembhard. They got Nembhard with it. Gilgeous-Alexander shooting 2. First is good. One more coming for the NBA MVP. Thunder are already in the penalty, so they will be shooting free throws for the remaining 8:19 of the second quarter. As Gilgeous-Alexander hits 2. First player in double figures tonight with 10. There's a steal on the inbound. Pacers' 7th turnover of the first half. Step back 3. No. Rebound Nesmith. Back come the Pacers up the floor. This is Nembhard with it. Here's a 3-pointer. Short. Turner keeps it alive for the Pacers. Nesmith for 3, and it's good. Nesmith out with a 3 after the Pacers kept the possession alive. We are tied at 32. 6-3 of the half for Indiana. Gilgeous-Alexander finds Dort. Open 3 for Dort. No. Rebound. Toppin. And he lost it. The 8th Pacers turnover. Gilgeous-Alexander has it for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander pull up just left of the foul line is good. That's a dozen for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. 34-32 Thunder. Timeout Indiana. 7:14 remaining second quarter. The Pacers trailing 34-32. And the turnover bug's biting them here in the first half, as they've committed 7 first-half turnovers. Thunder have only turned it over once to this point, as the Thunder have a 2-point lead at the 7:14 mark of the second quarter. Updated numbers in this one. Pacers down to 40% shooting at 10 of 25. They are 6 for 11 from three-point range, 55%. 6 of the Pacers' 10 field goals, 3-pointers. Just 6 for 9 at the free throw line, 67%. Thunder shooting 45%, 13 of 29. They are just 2 for 9 from three-point range, 22%. And they've left some points out on the free throw line as well. They're 6 for 10 for 60%. As the Thunder lead this game 34-32. Interesting backstory on this one I meant to say earlier, and I failed to get it in. The Thunder already have the team buses painted with 2025 champions on the team buses there in Oklahoma City. I don't think, and Rick Carlisle, the Pacers coach, definitely made a point of emphasis there on that one, as the Thunder, were they a little bit premature on painting the champions on their team buses. So far, they lead by 2 here, but plenty of basketball to go in what has been a back-and-forth Game 7 to this point, 34-32. And again, the turnover bug kind of biting the Pacers a little bit. They have 7 in the first half compared to the Thunder's 1. 8 points for Siakam for the Pacers. Mathurin with 5. 3 out of Nesmith, 2 out of Tony Bradley, and a point from Miles Turner. The Thunder led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander so far with 12. 8 off the bench for Caruso. 5 apiece from Holmgren and Jalen Williams, and 2 from Hartenstein and Dort. As the Thunder have the 2-point lead with 7:14 remaining in quarter number 2. An update on that Mets-Phillies game. Bottom of the 6th, it is still the Phillies leading the Mets 5-0. It's meant to that game for first place in the National League East. Mets and Phillies have been in a battle all season long, at least through the first half of the season for the NL East. And that is for sole possession of first place in the NL East in that game. Phillies up 5-0. Pacers been doing a good job balancing the minutes here. Siakam has played the most minutes for Pacers, 13 minutes. So they've done a really good job. Rick Carlisle has balancing the minutes as they have done all series, as have the Thunder. Both teams really utilize their bench well. As we are just about set to get back to action following the timeout here, with the Thunder leading by 2. Pacers bring it up. Here's Nembhard. Nembhard with it. Nembhard, guarded by Holmgren, goes inside. Dangerous pass there, but Mathurin gets inside, can't finish. Rebound to the Thunder. Wallace for 3. Good. Cason Wallace with a 3 for the Thunder, and they lead now by 5, 37-32. Here's Turner to Nesmith. To Nembhard. Nembhard inside with Turner, and he's fouled. And Miles Turner heads to the line. Miles Turner split 2 free throws a couple minutes ago. Both teams now in the bonus for the final 6:25 of the second quarter, so we could see a lot of free throws here for the final half of the second quarter. Turner at the line. First free throw up and no good. Both teams have really struggled from the free throw line, left a lot of points out there at the free throw line in this first half. Miles Turner will have one more. Second one by Turner, missed them both. And the Pacers save this. Great save. McConnell from the free throw line missed it. Pacers did a good job saving possession, but McConnell couldn't finish, and back come the Thunder. Wallace, no, as he tried to get back-to-back threes, and the ball goes over the top of the backboard over to Indiana. This has been the biggest lead for the half either way, 5 points. It has been a very, very tightly contested first half as McConnell brings it up for the Pacers as we are halfway through the second quarter. McConnell with it. McConnell gets inside but is cut off. McConnell back underneath and scores. McConnell cuts it to 3, 37-34. Caruso now for the Thunder. Caruso and Holmgren wide open in the corner, but missed the 3. Rebound to Nesmith. McConnell to Nembhard. Nembhard on the drive inside with the right hand, and it's a 1-point game with back-to-back baskets for the Pacers. Timeout, Thunder, as the Pacers are within 1, 37-36. So Reggie Miller made the trip to Oklahoma City in the stands. He likes this little 4-0 run by Indiana. Ooh, looks like we're going to be in for a nip and tuck game 7. Two teams vying for a championship and a very tightly contested first half. 37-36 lead for the Thunder. 5:22 to play in quarter number 2. Thunder have now dipped under 50% shooting. They're at 44. Again, just 3 for 12 from the free throw line for the Thunder. They have struggled from distance in a couple games this series. Pacers are still over 50% shooting from three-point range, 6 out of 11. But they are getting some nice balance. as are the Thunder, as the Thunder only have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in double figures with 12 points. Pacers have yet to put anybody in double figures yet, getting balance all the way around. 8 of the 10 players that have seen action for the Pacers tonight have scored. Pacers have done a little bit better job protecting the ball in these last few possessions as turnovers are starting to pile up there. They have 7 in the half. But we have ourselves a 1-point game with 5:22 to go in the second quarter. Battling for a championship. Run down some WNBA scores from earlier. The Fever lose in Vegas, 89-81. Here's a stat for you. That is the Fever's 16th consecutive loss to Las Vegas. Las Vegas definitely has their number right now. Other WNBA scores. Atlanta, 93-80 over Chicago. And in overtime, Washington over Dallas, 91-88. Dallas got the number 1 pick with Paige Bueckers, but boy, are they struggling this year. Fourth quarter, the defending champion, New York Liberty, they're about to go down in Seattle. Seattle leads at 88-79 with 32 seconds left. And Golden State, the expansion team this year in the WNBA, Golden State, they lead Connecticut after one 23-20. And in that Major League Baseball score, it's still 5-0 Phillies over the Mets in that first place battle for first place in the NL East. And I mentioned earlier as well, this will be the second champion crowned today. The LSU Tigers won the College World Series earlier today, defeating Coastal Carolina 5-3. LSU winning their 8th College World Series championship. Think of LSU baseball as the dominant teams right now, just like Alabama for football, Ohio State for football, Duke for basketball, UConn for basketball. You can put LSU baseball probably in those categories with those teams. Thunder inbound out of the timeout, leading by 1. And Tyrese Halliburton, the word has come down. Tyrese Halliburton is out for the rest of the game. That three-pointer misses for Oklahoma City, and the Pacers look to retake the lead this trip. Nembhard. Nesmith for 3. No. Rebound to the Thunder. Here's Dort. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Gilgeous-Alexander outside. A three-pointer for Dort is good. And Dort extends the Thunder lead to 4, 40-36. McConnell with it for Indiana. McConnell on the drive. McConnell to Turner just beyond the foul line. It's good. Miles Turner with his first field goal. And it's a 2-point game, 40-38. Dort, try another 3. This one's short. Rebound, Nembhard. McConnell. McConnell with it. Against Caruso. Shot clock at 10. McConnell backs it out. McConnell now drives inside. Just above the foul line, and it's good, and TJ McConnell ties this game at 40. Second field goal for McConnell. Holmgren's shot is blocked, and the Pacers save it. Here's Nembhard. A three-pointer on the way, short, well short, and the Thunder with the rebound. Under 3.5 to go, second quarter. Game tied at 40. Gilgeous-Alexander, his shot is blocked. Back-to-back blocks for Indiana. Siakam with it. Siakam and off of Turner out of bounds. It goes to the Thunder. Boy, Siakam had an open lane but decided to give it off to Turner. That's one Siakam probably needs to go up with as Mathurin returns for the Pacers. Yeah, that's a shot. I know Siakam's a very unselfish player, but that's a shot. You'd just see him take all the way and finish there himself. Instead, it results in the 8th Pacer turnover of the first half, and we have a kick ball that will stay with the Thunder. As the Pacers tried to get the steal there, but it was kicked away. And the Thunder will inbound with 15 to shoot. Dort will inbound for the Thunder. Finds Cason Wallace. Wallace to Williams. Williams got cut off underneath and passes it back out. 5 to shoot, and Gilgeous-Alexander. They're going to get a goaltend, and Gilgeous-Alexander has his 13th and 14th points. Nembhard brings it up for the Pacers, down 2. Nembhard with the pull-up. That's short. Rebound Hartenstein. Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander with it. Gilgeous-Alexander. 10 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander finds it off to Williams. Thought about the 3. Now gives it off to Dort, who will take the 3. That's way off. And that shot clock's actually going to get a jump ball. The shot clock was going to expire there. But Nesmith tied up Hartenstein, and we're going to have another jump ball. The shot clock only shows half a second. So I don't know even if the Thunder win this jump, if they're even going to be able to get a shot off here. As Obi Toppin returns. Gives Miles Turner a breather. Hartenstein's probably, to win this jump, he's probably just going to have to tip it toward the basket. And it will go out of bounds. Yeah, with only half a second there, there's not really much the Thunder could do except tip it up toward the basket. Pacers with it. Nembhard. Mathurin. Mathurin with it now. With 10 to shoot, Mathurin tries a 3. It's good. Mathurin threw up the 3, and the Pacers lead by 1. We're under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's going to be a double dribble against Hartenstein. He lost the dribble. And it will be the Thunder's 5th turnover. Nembhard brings it up for the Pacers, guarded by Caruso. Finds Toppin. Toppin's had a quiet first half for Indiana. Nembhard with it now. Nembhard on the drive finds Toppin. Open 3, no. Tip, no. And a foul on the Thunder. It's going to be on Cason Wallace. That's 3 on Wallace. So Wallace becomes the first player with 3 fouls in this game. And it was a push underneath. It sends Siakam to the line. It's both teams over the limit. First of 2 by Siakam is good. One more coming for Siakam. It's good. Pacers by 3. 125 and counting first half. Hartenstein. Here's Williams. Williams thought about it. Now gives it off to Gilgeous-Alexander with 4 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander puts up a 3. Round and out. Rebound, Indiana. That was halfway down and rimmed out. Here's McConnell at the other end. Final minute, second quarter. McConnell. Back to Nembhard. Nembhard on the drive. Nembhard inside the paint. Missed it long. Rebound to the Thunder. Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander brings it up. Gilgeous-Alexander inside Hartenstein. Count it. And a chance for a three-point play. Foul is on Obi Toppin, and Hartenstein goes to the line to try to complete a three-point play. Hartenstein with 4 points in the half does have 6 rebounds. Now 5 in the half, and we are all square at 45. Nembhard brings it up. If the Pacers hurry, they can go 2 for 1 here. We're going to have an offensive foul instead on Mathurin as he pushed off on Dort. Rick Carlisle incensed on the Pacers sideline. And the Thunder will get it on the inbound at half court. Caruso inbounds. This is Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander looking to drive on Nembhard. Now Gilgeous-Alexander is fouled by Nembhard. He had rimmed out. He would have had a chance for a three-point play, but Gilgeous-Alexander heads to the line. Andrew Nembhard picks up foul number 2. And Gilgeous-Alexander heads to the line. First free throw is good. One more coming for Gilgeous-Alexander. Got them both. Thunder back in front by 2. It's only a difference of a half second. Shot clock, game clock. Final 14 seconds. Pacers will run for 1 here. Here's Nembhard with 10. Down to 7. Nembhard on the drive with 5. Nembhard for 3. A long-range 3, and he got it. Nembhard with a long 3. Thunder have a chance with 1 second. Half-court heave at the horn, and that's how the first half concludes, with the Pacers leading 48-47. A 1-point lead for the Pacers at halftime in Game 7. On an Andrew Nembhard 3 to put the Pacers up, going to the locker room. 24 minutes in the books, 24 minutes to decide a champion. And the Pacers take a 1-point lead to the locker room. Briefly going to stop the live stream for a few minutes. We'll be back right before the second half starts. Run down first half stats. Get prepared for the second half in this decisive Game 7. I'm going to stop. I will be back with you here in